Complexity is going to happen automatically no matter what you do, because life just does that to you. Then there's this exception here and that exception there, and then this other thing and whatever that creeps out. What we want to do is figure out how to simplify it. And a lot of the time that's about chunking things down. It's about looking at higher level abstractions. It's about creating simple systems that produces that outcome. I'm a software guy, right? A lot of my work when it comes to software is figuring out what's the simple way to do something that someone wants, right? But people are constantly asking for features and upgrades and changes, and there was a period of a few years where I was further removed from the software, and then the engineers would just get a request, and from customer success would get some request from a customer, feed it to product manager, who then was like, that's a good idea, let's get this done, give it to the engineers, and then they would just go and do something that solved that problem. And pretty soon, a lot of the code base just mushroomed, and a lot of the product mushroomed into this complicated mess with, but then this over here, and then this over here, and this over, it got complicated. And so my work is to look at all that and figure out what's the slice? Where can we cut? What's the concept? What's the abstraction? What's the angle to look at this problem from, so that we can make a very elegant, clean cut that achieves what they want and what they want and what they want in a way that doesn't disturb these people who don't care, and is very simple and clean to implement, to test, and to understand, and to maintain. Right? So it's that simplicity of having the right abstractions, the right way of looking at it. Another example is Nokia versus Apple, right? Like back in the day, with Nokia was making cell phones, and they had a lineup of I don't freaking know, how many fucking different Nokia phones that you could buy, right? And I couldn't even fucking understand which one I should get and why. So it was like, okay, this is the flagship model now. All right, I'll buy that one, right? It was super confusing. And Apple came in and they have one phone. For most of the time, they just have one phone per year. This is the new iPhone. And then you can buy last year's model, and that's about it, right? Now they have the Pro and the basic version, and then they have the big and the small version. So now they have kind of four, but they're all basically the same, and they're differentiated in fairly clear and obvious ways, right? Much simpler. And Apple is the biggest company in the world, and you can basically have every single product the company makes would fit on this table more or less, right? Versus what Nokia was doing, which, you could probably fit all the different products that they did on a table as well, because these cell phones are small. But it's just a completely different lineup from what most companies do, right? So that's a way that by looking at it in a different way, even though there's a lot of complication in a phone, you can still keep things simple at a higher level.